everyone. I'm Mike Urbans.
And I'm Denise Urbans.
Welcome to It's Your Water Quick Hits series. Woo-hoo. And it's something new. Our quick hits are helpful tips for common issues with water treatment equipment. That's what we do. Today, why is my water softener producing hard water? Denise?
Is the bypass open?
This is the first thing you should look at. Check the bypass first. First thing. Number 2, clogged injector. Just replace the damn thing. It's a cheap little part. Auto trolls, the ones with the cam and the little flappers, they're still around. They had probably the most chronic injector problems. But they're easy to get to. You yank it out and you put new ones in. Just keep the different colors. They all come in different colors. So 8-inch, 9-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch tank. Just keep them on your truck for
Clack or fleck?
Clack, fleck, or auto troll. I don't know the other valves, the canitures and all those. We don't sell them. I don't use them. I don't troubleshoot them. This is another thing. Slow or clogged drain. Inspect the drain. The drain it's like the exhaust pipe of the water softener. And that's how it creates the vacuum to pull the brine out of the brine tank through the injector. So if you have any back pressure on the drain, it's going to impede that suction or weaken the suction, or so bad that it'll start dripping water back to the brine tank. It actually force water back. You'll say, well, how can that happen? So you look at your drain and you go, hey, someone teed in a high rate backwashing soft filter, like a green sand filter or a calcite filter that uses 7 gallons a minute, 8 gallons a minute. And they put it on the shared line with the softener.
It's ahead of the softener?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's pressurizing that line with high rate. Now, a softener, say it only uses 1.7 gallon a minute, 2.4, little. It just, squeaks water to the drain. Okay. What if you have a time clash and they backwash together? All of a sudden, that drain line is pressurized. Always do independent drain lines. Please, please, please. Independent drain lines. Inspect them for clogs. And always have a sanitary air gap trap at the end. That's just a little PSA there. But next thing, brine system vacuum leaks. It's a very delicate process, sucking brine, because you're going across an injector, which is differential pressure. What an injector is it has a high pressure end and low pressure end. You squeeze the water through a tiny hole that creates velocity and vacuum. Just like you were a kid and you had a hole in a straw and you're trying to suck up your drink through the straw and you'd get air, like it breaks the vacuum. It's a vacuum breaker. If you have a loose connection anywhere in your brine system, check your connections, check your John Guest fittings or whatever, Clarkers or whatever tight. Make sure everything's tight because vacuum kills brine. We've seen this a lot. Brine grid. It's an option. It's a little shelf in your brine tank. And what they do is that shelf creates a bigger void so you can make more brine or more saturated brine. So if you have a softener that's big and it has to put a lot of water back in the brine tank, but then you have a lot of salt and it displaces the water, you can't put enough brine in the brine tank because the salt displaces it and checks your brine float, premature brine float. So what they do is they create a void with a shelf. So you have just water. But if it's not engineered properly, that shelf, the water has to come about an inch above that shelf to dissolve the salt above it. So if the water is not reaching a 1 inch above your grid, or 2 inches, whatever, above your grid, you're not making brine. You have to adjust your refill rate to get above the grid. It's a common thing. It's an engineering problem you want to call the factory. And why don't I have enough water? It happens a lot.
Just to be clear, they're not all brine tanks have a grid.
Grids in them. It's an option. Yeah. And it's usually on a bigger softener, commercial, because they need a lot of water to make brine. But what happens is you fill up the brine tank. Fouled resin bed. And what I mean by that, not iron fouled, it turned to mush. If you have resin is a polystyrene material, and it's affected by oxidants like chlorine. High chlorinated water, like down south, they whack the water, especially in the summertime, with high doses of chlorine. And eventually, especially on 6% cross-link resin has a structure, and the less expensive the resin, the less cross-linking or binding you have in it, or structure or skeletal mass. The chlorine attacks it, turns it to mush. And what will happen is you get pressure drop in the house or the building, and or how delicate the brine suction is, we talked about. That mush gets you so much pressure drop that you can't draw brine. It's more rare, but check that resin, that it didn't turn to mush. And if it did, put in a carbon filter before.
Or a higher
cross-link resin. But even sometimes we did that when it was a Golden Corral down in Wilmington, North Carolina. So much chlorine in that water, it fried every resin we put in there. Clogged or corroded brine valve, that's the little guy up in your valve at the timer. If it is corroded, Fleck is a big issue because they use an external brine valve. Autotrol uses internal flappers, but Fleck uses an external brine valve, which exposes it to air, which exposes it to high rate of salt and corrosion, and it sticks. It'll stick open, stick shut. So you'll see it gets barnacles all over it.
Mm-hmm.
Replace it. Just replace it. It's easy to do. Next up is clogged brine line flow control. Again, you're sucking brine out at a rate, a controlled brine line flow rate. So you have to control how much is coming in and going out. So they'll put a teeny little flow control. It's a 1/4 gallon a minute, a 1/2 gallon a minute, 1 gallon a minute. It's a tiny little orifice that could be prone to clogging. So you open up your brine system. It's usually in there. And it's just this little tiny. And I've seen plastic bags where people are sloppy when they filled the resin tank and they got some of the rice bag material like into the resin, and it mysteriously will come up and clog the brine line flow control. And then when it refills, it blows it away. And then it comes up, it'll drive you batso. So clack, you could actually take the elbow off and inspect the bore and clean it out. It's real easy. Clack makes it real easy. So that happens a lot. Well, you did all that. Check your programming. It's a lot of electronic valves can have programming issues. You're just not putting enough water back in the brine tank, or your suction is confarcted. So go in and look at your programming. Your next is your water meter. You say, what the heck does that have to do with my... Well, if you don't have a day override and your water meter is not counting down gallons, it's never going to regenerate.
That's a problem. Yeah.
It's a problem. Check your water meter. If it's electronic, you just dial up to the meter gallons per minute. You can actually look on the electronics and select that menu selection and run water in a house and see if it works. Yeah.
Right.
A lot of times it gets crud in it. But, they're the top things that are going to create hard water coming out of your softener. So, there you have it. Trust the frog. Thanks, everybody. Bye.